okay? Let's see. Officer Johnson, Detective. We're talking with you today. Can I get your name?
Matthew Scott. C-O-T-T-L-A-N-C.
What's your neighbor?
10-19-22.
Okay. Where do you live at?
I live in Athens right now.
You live in Athens? What's your address?
435 North Church Street. Yep. I go there every month.
Yeah, is this what we were talking about as the video is kind of broken up in segments?
Yes.
Or about an hour apiece.
Correct.
So I'm going to move to the second video of States to the 470. And I will restart. So this is the second video on 470, starting at 17:25 and 50 seconds.
Where are you majoring in?
Cognitive science, so it's like AI and automated systems. Trying to improve the culture of that industry, making it more efficient, more effective, safer technology. Because it's very good at collecting data. That's kind of an issue these days, securing data on the community. It was always something that I found interesting.
Congratulations. How long have you lived there?
I moved in at the beginning of August. Would have been around August 7th, I was. And then I also live at my house with my parents too.
Where's that?
It's in Amber.
What's that?
It's 600 Delphinium, D-E-L-P-H-I-N Boulevard. That is 3012.
You live in your parents?
Yeah, I have mom and dad, 2 sisters, and a 6th brother. And we have a little cousin who lives with us since I'm
Oh, my sisters.
my oldest is 30, so she has 2 kids now. And my oldest sister is 23.
They all live?
The oldest sister is older. She lives in her house.
What's your phone?
678 619 788.
What's your phone? Alright, what is, you obviously reading right English language? What are the influence of any alcohol or drugs today?
No.
And your education level is obviously college. So you're out. I want to talk to you about what occurred earlier today. And I'm going to read your rights first. Alright, so before asking any questions, you must understand your rights, okay? So you have the right to consent. Anything you say you can use to include as evidence against you. You have the right to talk to the lawyer before we ask you any questions and have him or women in your questioning. If you cannot afford more, there will be a window for you without cost, and he or she will be present at all times during questioning. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you will celebrate a sound attorney any time you talk to a lawyer. Do you understand this? Can we proceed forward to talking about what happened earlier?
Is there a way that I could just, I guess if I get uncomfortable with the answer, so that we could proceed with this.
Okay. So you are appreciate that. Let's talk through the morning. Where did you start the morning at?
It started in my room.
In your apartment? And what time was that?
Well, I think I had woken up around 2 o'clock to my mom. Not really.
And that's?
Yeah. And I was like, well, what is she doing here? That just didn't make sense.
Okay. So what happened after that? What was your?
She had come to tell me that 2 people had been murdered in the house that is behind ours. And she was, coming to ask me, like, were you involved? And I said, no. I was on the way home anyway. And then when all of that happened, I didn't hear any of it. They didn't hear any of it. And I had, I guess, left before it had happened. Because I had to go home. And then I went back to Athens because I was just too tired to go home. And needed to come back for classes. So that's what I was doing that night before.
So where were you then?
In Athens, and then I went home, and I went back.
What time was that?
The drive down and the drive back up.
Yeah.
So I guess I left Athens around 9, and probably got there 10:15, and then I was in my house for probably 30 or 40 minutes, and then I left. 30 or 40 minutes after 10:15, so then around 11, I guess, that I had left.
What about you?
It's hard to recollect. It was later than, I guess, 11:30, 40. So maybe it was 12-ish. Yeah, an hour and a half.
What did you drive?
My car.
Which car was it?
It's a black license.
Okay. So your mom comes up there, and she was involved in this. I haven't heard about anything over a cop. So I guess it's.
Apparently it was super crazy scene.
Oh yeah,
I don't.
There's no evidence, so we don't know.
Right, so she said it was the hair thing. Someone just like broke into their house and started their living room or something. She said, are there shit ton of police there? Is there anything? No, when she's like, no, that just happened. I want to make sure you weren't there. And I'm like, okay. I don't think, I told her that I had been coming home. That, when I got there, I smoked a cigarette in the backyard. I did look at the people's house. It's light. Because there's a big fence in our backyard. You can see the light there. Yeah, and she was asking, like, did you look over at their house or did you hear anything? And I was like, well, yeah, I looked over there and saw a light on or two when I was smoking a cigarette, and then I tried to go back over to our house. And then, it was locked. I couldn't look. to go around the front door and go outside and sleep. It was already pretty late. I was just saying, on the floor. And then I was just saying, oh, I got my car. Decided
You left. And then at 2 o'clock, your mom shows up.
that's, yeah.
Okay, what happens after that?
She just talked to me about, how she just wants me to focus on school and trying to be a hard worker for her and trying to stay focused and stay out of trouble, which is what I try to do.
That's support with your mom.
And my dad, they're respectful people. They want us, they want their kids to be good people and successful. Yeah, it's still good values.
Seems like it. You got to go around that UGA.
Right. I mean, I was always a smart kid. I went to enhanced high school, magnet school. So school was kind of always a pretty easy thing for me to get along with. Ended up kind of like a more introverted personality side. I was in school very fun. UJ is a good thing to socialize more. Be more of it.
It's enjoyable.
Some people just don't like it.
Well, attention is a passion, passion. So, how did you, if you were in Athens, how did you end up back in here?
For here, I was actually going home again in my car, I guess.
Do you remember where that was?
Yeah, it was over near. It was down 75 here. Way past 575, way closer to Athens. I'm not sure the actual road name. But
Did you just run to the market? There's restaurants or gas stations.
it was, I mean, it's on the 75 drive back from Athens to Kinston.
Do you think?
I want to say, you guys are Sandy Springs, right?
Yeah.
I want to say Henry.
I got you.
Alright, so car breaks down, he asks who happens.
Then I just started walking.
Who are you going
And I was just kind of thinking about walking in the car behind that.
to? So what happens?
For saying honestly, I just walked through that neighborhood.
Okay.
And then I just got so much that that house was something I needed to go to. And then, when I was in there, the dogs were acting very friendly. And then, the lady started saying, "Who are you? What are you doing in my house?" And I was saying, "It's me, Matt." He's like, "Oh, I don't know who you are, blah, blah, blah." And I said, "Well, maybe I'm just not in the right house." And then she called her son upstairs, Matthew. And she started calling the police after he came. I was just standing there for a while. cause anything going on. There's really no way to describe that kind of interaction. You know, when she called the police and you guys showed up, I went upstairs because that's where I thought I had to go check out. I didn't find anything to I wasn't really sure. Just some place that felt I needed to keep there. That's really
What happened was the police got here.
Then I was upstairs. And then, you know, they were kind of in the bottom of the stairs. And I just went down because I was just up there.
Were they talking to you?
Yes, they were communicating. I was communicating back too.
And you were,
Yes.
what were they saying to you?
Just like, you know, come downstairs. This isn't your house. It's the next one over. And I was like, that's not right. It was just here. But I guess it felt more uncertain. And I started going down the stairs. You know, I saw the load of police. I don't know how many there were. There was probably 7 or 8 of them. I don't know, I guess it kind of freaked me out.
They were scared.
Not necessarily. I mean, I thought they might have shot me on sight.
So what happened then?
I don't know. Based on what happened, I think I could just call the lawyer for other input, correct?
You had a lawyer again. I just wanted to hear the truth, you know, you know, hear the truth with me so far. Just kind of your side, your version of events, because I don't have one side.
Just the way I understand it is, I just kind of punched this dude with that knife. And then,
You know what?
you know, considering I don't think they were going to let me be after some event like that. I saw I was sitting in a jail or prison instantly. And then once obviously the knife punch was thrown, you know, all the officers started action. That one officer got killed, and then I just got
Just what?
a year plus those. That was a was shot in my brain. So. But it wasn't hate or anything. There was love in my body and heart. So I think I was just looking for something that wasn't there. I don't know.
What made you feel like you needed to be in the house?
I would say a message from God.
Can you tell me about that? Did you bring it with you? Did you find it in the house?
This is my car. It's been under my ownership. And it's a fixed limit.
Okay.
I believe it's a code. We'll see. Next time.
Where did you carry it?
I just don't get it.
Where did you carry it after that?
All I did.
Can you show me that?
hills pretty long, but the lanes are fine. Like, overall,
Anything else you want to tell me about the incident that you had to do so?
yeah. That's something. What I did was worth it. I think I could have just left that house in peace. Then all I could to get my car back up and running. In the school or my family that I was going to. I'm sure
Anything else you want to talk about? You know, for the sake of honesty, and this getting help and making sure it's
right, so I've been talking to mental health specialists that, confirm that, this might, I guess, it's lifted, maybe there's more checkups needed than this talk.
Well, better get you that. Make sure you see our doctors.
Just want to fill in detail on the issue.
Yeah, I mean,
Anybody that needs help and wants help,
I do,
deserves to go get it.
though I do feel like I don't need that many people.
Well, just, anything else you want to talk about that you think would be good for us to know, be up to conscience, or, maybe that's happened in the last couple days, that led up to this incident or after this incident that you think would be helpful for people. So you're a believer, you're a Christian?
Yes.
And
I think God is very real.
I agree. Do you go to church?
It's kind of more like seasonal occasional, church songs, but
I doesn't have to affect what you're on your level of belief, but the biggest things is to be forgiven for your sins. You should, as a Christian, you have to be honest and repent about what you did.
I have made that spirit. I feel like he loves me, so I do.
You think there's anything that he needs to tell you that you need to talk with us about and tell us about so that they can clear your conscience?
Killing is always, killing should, I think killing should be like a self-defense and then, military elimination defense of the person. So I believe in the concept of self-defense, like, the home deal with the Castleton in Georgia, that kind of speaks to, have the responsible gun. Yes, but I don't have it in my possession.
Where is it?
Respect to the answer.
Yeah, this is your it's not on you, right?
No.
This is in a safe place that no one
Yeah,
can shoot it.
it's safe.
Okay. Have you ever been in that situation where you had to
I mean, I thought when my mom showed up, she had like
this to do?
It's 7 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
7.
Okay, 9? 17?
17s.
Did she very well?
That was why I was searching out where blocks and
Literally
all
blocks.
life until I was 17.
How old are you?
This one is
Where are you at? Oh, I've been there. It's a good place. Do you, are you a specific ammo kind of guy, or?
I shoot like FRJs. And then like federal is good at all points.
Yeah. What kind do you keep your gun?
The brass with copper.
Copper jacket.
Yes. The hollow points. They have like different elements like that. I just know that I was shooting guns and if I don't think it's good hollow points.
I'm just curious because we don't have anything to do with the guns, so why wouldn't you want to tell me where your gun is?
I don't know, I think it's just like relevant for the aspect of evidence. I just think it's just in the safe and locked in the house.
Okay, but it's locked up.
Yeah. The parents have,
Okay. There's the big thing we're just worrying about. Things like this go around people in people's houses so many times that people, a lot of different folks do, and they got guns and they end up just out in the woods somewhere. We just don't want a kid to get it or something like that. That's why I'm not saying about guns. It's nothing about you. I just don't want little Johnny to go run through the woods and pick it up and then get a little tragedy.
And that would be everywhere else.
yeah, I think
Being a Christian, that would have
killing kids, I mean, come on. Anyway, that's always a tragedy.
I'm gonna set that. Are you sure there's nothing you wanna? You need a trash can?
Let's see.
Sure there's nothing else you wanna talk about this incident? Or help you ease yourself?
I don't think so.
You need more water. Gosh.
Alright, we'll just hang out for a minute.
Fresh cup of water.
So for the record, I'm stopping this video at 17:53 and 3 seconds. Now, at this point in your interview, do you start looking into a potential other incident?
Yes.
And were you able to identify a potential situation that needed to be looked into?
Yes. So when we stepped out, when Sergeant Johnson and I stepped out, we spoke to other detectives and our intel analysts who had been watching that interview and were trying to dig up other information. And that's when it became increasingly apparent that there was another incident involved, and the Cobb County incident got brought to light, the recent homicide.
Now, once you kind of identified that potential incident, did you or someone from your agency reach out to Cobb County?
Yes, I believe it was one of our intelligence analysts had reached out to Cobb County to get them in the loop.
And at some point, did they come to the headquarters and interviewed the defendant.
They did.
Now, just to kind of ask some additional questions as to that interview. Now, was that interview conducted in the same room?
Yes.
And at some point, did detectives from Cobb County come and interview the defendant as he is seated there, as we saw?
Yes.
All right. Now, at some point after kind of going over all of that, did you and Sergeant Johnson come back in and continue your interview?
We did.
So now I'm going to skip to that portion when you come back into the interview, and that's on this one video 3 of Safety Exhibit 470.
Judge, I may have some questions. This is a new interview. I'd like to ask you a question on that.
Concerning the first one, yes, you may proceed.
Thank you. When you restarted this interview, and how long were you out before you came back in?
I'm not exactly sure how long it was that we were out of the room.
15, 20, 30 minutes?
Yeah, it wasn't a very long time period. So yeah, within a half an hour.
Okay, within a half hour. Did you reread his Miranda warnings?
No, we did not.
Okay. Even though you had a new situation that you wanted to ask questions about?
That's correct. He had already been advised of those and was still in our custody. So.
Okay. And you saw that he was beginning to get maybe sick there at the end?
Yes, sir.
And did you ask him anything about that, whether he felt like he could continue or anything of that nature?
Other than asking if he needed the trash can kind of right before we left, that was all I recall. And I don't remember if when we restarted, if I brought that up again or not.
All right. And the Cobb County officers, when did they arrive?
I don't know the exact time they arrived. Sometime, I'm guessing, around 6 p.m.
And you were still interviewing?
Yes.
All right. And did they come into the interview room?
They did after we went out and convened with them, and then they came in.
Okay. And was there Miranda warnings read at that point?
I don't recall if they read him an independent Miranda warning or not.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Judge, we would object to any continuing play of the video because we think it's a violation. The fact that they waited 30 minutes before they came back in. This is a new interview, and we feel like they did not read his Miranda warning. And consequently, anything from here on would not be admissible.
You're talking about the interview that continues with Sandy Springs Police Department, or the interview that he's referring to with Cobb County?
A continuation, when they were gone for 30 minutes and then came back in, didn't remind him of his constitutional rights or didn't read the Miranda warning again, then we think that's a violation.
Okay, I'll hear from the state.
So that's just not required. This is a continuation of the interview that they have already been conducting. So, I mean, it's not a violation. I had already asked the officer if at any point he unequivocally wanted to withdraw and stop speaking. So there's just not a violation. This is just a continuation of the same interview, which is done in almost every case where interviews are conducted. They step out and they come right back in. It is not required for Miranda to be reread to him in 30-minute gap.
I would agree if they'd gone out for 5 minutes to take a break or something like that. This is an interview where they are gathering other information about another case, and they waited maybe 30 minutes before they came back in, knowing that they were going to be interviewing about another case, and they did not read Miranda before the Miranda reading. I think that puts it in a different category, so we would object to this one.
Okay. Objections noted, but I'm going to overrule the objection. The objections noted for the record. You may continue.
Thank you, Judge. And so just to go back to State Exhibit 470, which has already been admitted to evidence, this is Disc 2, Video 1, starting at 18:04 and 16 seconds.
probably got something. I guess I wanted to touch back on that prior meeting, kind of the message you were getting, that you talked about that incident that occurred, was 9 years. There probably some good information for us, and details that we didn't understand, like what it was all, and I just, and you said you saw this here.
All I saw was that they had a Bible, and I guess it's their bathroom. And then it's really awesome. Maybe someone said like a vessel. That's awesome.
Did you go look or anything?
No, I didn't like the there. No, I wasn't like.
Did you see anything suspicious with that?
No, I can't think of any suspicions.
Hear anything?
No, that's weird.
Right.
I don't know. My mom said that she thinks here. It's just suspicion
Have you ever done it?
When I was a kid, one of our parents, his parents just lived there, and we were kind of friends with their kids. But then they
Do you know who was under that?
no. And she said it was just like, it's a weird couple. I think the people that lived there before they were a kid.
I was just kidding.
The old people that said, I don't know, it was
What about the people that live there? Yeah, just,
that neighborhood one that I know, something like that.
yeah. You got redhead kids?
I don't know. That was something pretty like, or something like that. I'm not sure they have anything. Yeah. No.
Remember that trouble breaking down. We sit here and we're big passionate kids.
Well, it pains me to know without their parents in there. That's just
I think I even was in there.
no. It's over here. The little kid was in
I would bet some news articles.
I just said it was like that, and it's bizarre. And apparently the whole kid was home for all that.
Well, there hurts, I guess. How did they take it? Did they take the
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I was just gonna ask. Did they like take it to the
I hope so.
the market is such a market.
You also said that she's not correct.
That's great.
Really is.
So interested in further proceed. Everything we got going on right here is off to the side right now.
I mean, all I saw was the last one. It was, I guess there was like a window like above the windows. And, my brother was getting harassed by the whole police leader for that and stuff. So it was just super crazy.
Never harassed anybody.
So,
Go ahead.
I don't think we ever found him.
Was they prosecuted for it?
No. This. So weird. So
Yeah, things happen, people back to say, so it's just important for that, for the little kid, to have something some sort of justice, some sort of closure, because, we were talking about earlier, I think we're all Christians in the room,
I don't know if you think that baby girl knowing that pain.
But I
Losing their parents.
But I think what can help with that pain is closure, not to see that you're a Christian, you're a Christian thing, because
Unfortunately, I don't have anything to let any information about it because
you don't have anybody that does.
Besides like the local police or whatever. Besides what they found, I don't know.
Yeah. Have you heard anything what they found in long time? You probably has better knowledge than we do, because all we could read is what's on the news, so what all did she say? How'd she know?
I don't know. I mean, she must have, I guess, seen the police in the morning or whatever. And she was just like, do you have anything about two people being murdered, in the neighbor's outside or something? No, that's something I have to say. I told her about. I don't know. Smoke a cigarette in the backyard.
say how the word killed? Because we can't get that.
I think she said they were shot.
What do you think, Adam?
And I went out. I don't get the feeling that I knew somebody was up to something. You know, when I was looking at the house anyway. I guess they just broke in.
What do you think about the person that did it? What do you think about them? Kind of person that did it?
How brutal was it?
I don't know.
Was it even brutal?
Well, it's not in our jurisdiction, so we don't.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that you're going to be a great witness, so I just want
I wouldn't be able to say anything, which is.
The only thing we got was just a little
I mean, what's your opinion? What do you think? What kind of person? Do you think of somebody that made a mistake or had a hunch about something?
Maybe it was. I mean, I would say it was a coincidence that it happened on the same night as I showed up. But I didn't hear anything, which is crazy. I mean, or someone could have just been trying to rob and they got scared. I don't know. I'm just sitting there. I don't know, but it's nuts. But it was broken in or something.
I was talking to you about it. Did she hear from anybody around the house that were or anything?
No, she didn't really. She might have. I can't really remember what she was saying. I was just trying not to get too worked up. But I don't believe that happened. So it was definitely a little close to
What do you think should happen to the person?
I guess it depends, with what intention. Even attempted at, I don't know what they were trying to do, just always weird, where
Actually thinking about that kid, you know? That poor kid and what he's going through right now, what he's going to go through, he grows up. And just weighs on my heart. About the child. Behind your house.
You had a little bit of time being out of Yale after those parents. It's heartbreaking.
something like that's just
I can't imagine how the world would look like that.
you know, a lot of orphans do it though, which is that's hard. You know, they can grow up to be some of the most successful people.
I guess we not go bad for that. We're good.
For sure. I say prayers for
We pray for that kid and
my
my
sister
sister.
and so much. Yeah. You know, I never used to be super religious, but God really helped me find a lot of strength for myself and others. So I keep them close to my heart.
Yeah, I kind of get this vibe from you know, with your religion and you know, God and kind of our connection. That there's something there that you want to help bring peace or healing to somebody.
I think the energy might have been off for some reason. Maybe that was. I guess just from a sense of being at home in the background, noticing lights looking a little like wicked, I guess. I was kind of put off by it.
Yeah. I think you were there for a reason, yeah.
It's just a notice, I suppose. Yeah, video.
There's a captain there, for a reason, so you could.
There was some clarity on myself, I suppose, and be able to say prayer and find some peace with this
You know, sometimes we all go through like we feel like opposites are for a reason.
everybody's happening. But you know, I was kind of not a believer when I was younger. I was more of a atheistic science believer.
So allow me to switch to the next. Record. This is still states exhibit, I believe 470. That's 470. Now this is disc 2, video 1, resuming where the previous video.
I'm sorry, Mr. Horowitz, I have a little difficult.
All right, this is States Exhibit 470, still but disc 2, video 1, a continuation from the previous video on disc 1, video 3. And
I was always, knowledgeable because of Christianity and its values. So I tell myself, yeah, I need towards more confident, lower God.
If anything, to rely on how they their lives.
And God and how you navigate mistakes, it's definitely, because Jesus came back for the sinners, to wash people of their sins, so that they can have a second chance of life.
That's a courageous act.
God sent His only Son back to a world filled with sin, so that we could have an afterlife. But through His Son, there are things that as Christians we have to do as well. We have to be like Jesus, act like Jesus, abide by His ultimate word.
He is a very intelligent and has love with confidence.
And He was sorry for that.
It's just ignorance, I think. Old times.
Eternal love that he had to offer.
It takes time to love like that. It's hard. And it's hard to sure to be in that place in our heart and mind.
Do you know that they love behind you? Are they believers?
I'm not sure. I think people get when they're Catholic and the dude who originally bought the house, I think, was probably a Christian. He probably, that might have passed on to us. He's good people, I'm not sure.
Have you ever robbed a house? Did they do? Like just for a meeting and say, hey, how you doing?
It was kind of like suspect, but I didn't involve myself in that house, because my brother was so intimidated by something that was happening.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that and the relationship they have?
With all due respect, it was just, I think he was being harassed, and it was kind of,
Did you ever try to help them with that?
yeah, I mean, that's why I do with my friends, and I try to talk to them, be logical, and listen to their issues and responsibilities and feelings. I try to work with them. Maybe see if they can find somewhere.
Yeah, it's so weird. Are you still trying to, and I used to go to past, I'm very sorry about that. Are you still trying to help clear some stuff up for your problem?
He was a great soul. He was honest when I did when I was it's not a tragedy for him to be said, especially in such a short manner. It's been very hard for me. And that's why I've been talking to, the mental health specialists reliably and confidence. So I can show them that I'm not trying to devolve something that's important.
Having somebody to confide in is huge.
It really is.
Put that there.
Talking to people about their problems is a really good way to heal the soul.
Yeah. That's weird. I mean, it's you get that all kinds of things. I mean, literally, it'll kill you, both emotionally and physically. You can't keep stuff like that on dimensions. I mean, no matter what, for your well-being, but for your faith, you can't.
Well, I don't have anybody in my conscience about me being there.
If you had that, if you weren't, would you? Whether or not, if you were there.
I don't know. I've never really killed anybody, so.
What about that?
I did. I lost a gun.
He's got pretty little kids. Never see your dad.
More kids.
I don't think they know yet.
It's rumors. I thought I was going to be taken away, I suppose.
That was that puts you kind of in that state of mind where you were out walking around and looking at houses and having, hunches that you need to enter, and something that had occurred earlier that would put you in that state.
Sometimes we see people that are in time of crisis, some terrible events happen in their life, and it's going to get inexplicable from there for a little bit.
It really
It
seems
seemed like they were going to do something enough to me. Did something just go completely awry for you that you're just walking around people's houses? Like, that's what doesn't add up, We're just,
I only walked into that.
oh, okay, I'm sorry, yeah, so that house.
Yes, I mean, that was a special hunch, I guess, from God, but.
What was he telling you?
This is you. And then, I was. Just gonna not talk anymore. I just think I said what I did say.
Do you want me to let, where do you live?
At work.
Do you, want me to talk with, fire who's handling their case so that you can get their discipline? Would you do that?
Do you think that I could provide good information.
I really do. I think that'd be the first thing to do.
I suppose I could help if that would alleviate on your conscience.
We would really appreciate it.
Yeah, and I appreciate you sticking with us today. I know a lot of things happen, but your honesty, obviously, that's what sets you free. And that's what gives you peace. So, if there's nothing else you want to talk to me about, or talk about,
Say a prayer for you, man.
I'm in due diligence to talk to God about, my neighbors and make sure they're okay. No.
Since it's not wrong to him, because I think that God will reach out to you, but he'll tell you, that's we so thankful.
We get so
be able to trust it. I really like trust. Scare me and trust.
Well, good sound checker.
I always felt like I've tried to promote trustworthiness as a person. I'm saying that is one of the most valuable things to me.
Well, I'm going to give you a minute to be alone with God. And hopefully he speaks to you.
I mean, he's significant lost my life. I deserve to live it.
I have a hunch that he's going to talk to you right now when I get out of this room. And I think maybe you'll have something to help us, help somebody, and help that child. I mean, I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to work for you to help that.
Right. We can talk about possibly witnessing for evidence in here, or just for evidence, or
Just to help them, just find out who did this. So, all right, well, we'll go work on that, and I'll need you to make sure it's quiet here so that I can speak to you. Yeah.
absolutely. All right.
For the record, I'm stopping this video at 18:31 and 33 seconds. Now, Detective, we kind of previously talked about how you spoke with Cobb County, and just for record purposes, sorry. This font's very small, so I was going to come up here and point. Now, down here on the video, what is the current time? Even better. All right. What is the current time of when y'all left the interview?
That was 6:31 p.m.
Okay. And so then, at some point after 6:31, does Cobb County detectives come and interview Mr. Lanz here in the same room?
Yes,
And was that recorded as well?
it was.
And through the same system in segments like we've seen
Yes.
with your testimony?
That's correct.
Now, I want to ask just a couple of questions about the burglary case itself. Were you the lead detective in that?
I was.
Now, were you tasked with trying to locate the defendant's vehicle that you heard about in the interview?
Yes.
Now, was his, or back up one question, were you able to identify the type of vehicle that he drove?
Yes.
How were you able to do that?
So through public record searches and through law enforcement databases, I and our intel analysts were able to determine that it was a 2018 Lexus sedan.
And that sedan, was that able to be located?
It was. Once we identified the vehicle, we were able to use those same databases to identify a license plate number, and we used searchable license plate reader systems to get an idea that the vehicle was somewhere in the location of Northside Drive and New Northside Drive.
Now, was that car specifically found?
It was.
And where was it specifically found?
And outside of 5665 New Northside Drive.
Now, in relation to the 90 Cameron Glen house, where was that car located?
If you were to follow the roads walking, it would be about a mile and a half.
Now, is it a shorter distance if you would walk through the woods?
Yes.
Right. Now, once that vehicle was located, what did you do next?
So the officers that located the vehicle, impounded it, had it towed to our headquarters, and then I obtained a search warrant through Fulton County Magistrate Court to search that vehicle for any evidence that might link Mr. Lanz or the vehicle to our crime here in Fulton County.
And so was the vehicle taken from its location on New Northside Drive to a location?
Yes.
And where is that location?
So at Sandy Springs Police, we had a secured impound cage for processing vehicles behind our detective's office. It was dropped in that cage.
Now, is that the same location where you had interviewed Mr. Lanz?
Yes, same building.
Right. Now, were photographs taken of that vehicle?
They were.
Now, as it pertains to this case here, after that point, did you have any other additional involvement?
No, I didn't. I passed off the search warrant to the investigators that executed that, and I passed off the rest of the case to Cobb County. My only involvement was taking out the Fulton County arrest warrants.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Attorney Barrier, is there any cross for Sergeant Nito? Okay, you may proceed.
Did you actually search the vehicle after it was located?
No, sir, I did not.
Okay, was that Cobb County that did the search?
I know that Detective Tomlin with Sandy Springs took lead on that. Tomlin, Tomlin. And I believe Cobb County worked hand in hand with him on that, but I wasn't part of it, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Were you given any information about anything that was found, any trace evidence found in the automobile?
I don't believe so. I don't recall.
Okay. No glass shards in the vehicle on the floorboard or anything of that nature that you know of?
Not that I can think of right now, no, sir.
And I think you already indicated you don't know what time exactly the Cobb County Police arrived, correct?
That's correct.
I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.